Jack Miller sat in the cold meeting room on Proxima Station. For 3 weeks, he had listened to the Xeraxian demands. Each day, they asked for more. Each day, the humans gave up something else. But today felt different. Lisa Valdez, his trusted second-in-command, passed him a note under the table. "They want mining rights to Mars now," it said. Jack's face showed nothing, but inside, anger burned hot. Across the large round table, the alien delegates continued talking. Their leader, High Commander Zexlor, had 4 arms and skin like bluestone. When he spoke, his voice rumbled like distant thunder. The human colonies in the Orion Belt must be open to Xeraxian inspection teams. This is not negotiable. Jack looked around the room. The other alien races watched carefully. The Drillari representative blinked her 3 eyes slowly. The Tellarate ambassador scratched notes with his claw. In the corner, the Galactic Concord mediator, Gratok, nodded as if this was all reasonable. For 20 years, humans had tried to join the galactic community as equals. For 20 years, they had been treated like children. The older races called Earth the young world, and humans, the new species, never missing a chance to remind them of their place. Ambassador Miller, Gratok said, "Your response to these fair terms?" Jack exchanged a look with Lisa. She gave a small nod. They had discussed this moment many times. They knew what would happen if they took this step. The whole human government had planned for it. Without a word, Jack stood up. Lisa did the same. They began collecting their tablets and papers. "What is the meaning of this?" Zexlor demanded. His blue skin darkened with anger. "Humanity is done," Jack said simply. "These are not peace talks. These are surrender talks." Gratok rushed forward, his long robes flowing. "Ambassador Miller, this is most irregular. No species has ever walked away from Concord-mediated peace talks." "Then we will be the first," Lisa said. Her voice was calm but firm. Jack looked directly at Zexlor. "For 3 weeks, you have demanded. For 3 weeks, we have compromised. But there is a line, and you have crossed it." The room erupted in noise. The Drillari representative stood up, shouting in her musical language. The Tellarate ambassador clicked his claws loudly. 2 Xeraxian guards moved toward the door, blocking the way. "You may not leave," Zexlor said. "The talks will continue." Jack smiled for the first time. "No, they won't." He pressed a small button on his wrist. "Calm. And yes, we will leave." The station lights flickered. Outside the large window, a massive human ship appeared, seemingly out of nowhere. The Northern Star, the pride of the human fleet, had been waiting in stealth mode. "The talks are over," Jack announced to the shocked room. "Humanity will not be threatened, belittled, or treated as less any longer. We came in good faith. That faith is now gone." The Xeraxian guards stepped back from the door. As Jack and Lisa walked out, Gratok called after them. "This means war. The Concord cannot protect you if you reject its peace process." Jack paused at the doorway. Perhaps the Concord should worry about who will protect them. 10 minutes later, Jack and Lisa boarded their shuttle. As they docked with the Northern Star, Admiral Samantha Wright was waiting. "It's done?" she asked. "It's done," Jack confirmed. "They wouldn't listen. They never do." Sam nodded. Her eyes were hard. "Alert all human ships and colonies. Security level 1. And send the message to Earth. Sunrise Protocol is now active." As the Northern Star moved away from Proxima Station, the aliens inside were still arguing. They didn't understand what had just happened. Humans had always bent, always given in. What had changed? They were about to find out. In her private cabin, Sam looked at the stars. The aliens had never seen humans at war. They were about to learn why that should terrify them. News spread fast across the galaxy. Humans had walked away from the peace talks. No one had ever done that before. Counselor Vesnin could not sit still. The tall, thin alien paced around the round room in the Drillari Capitol building. His purple skin looked almost gray with worry. "Show me the reports again," he said to his staff. Kerr, the chief intelligence officer, touched her screen. New images appeared on the big wall. They showed human ships moving. Many, many ships. "They are calling back all their trading vessels," Kerr said. "Every human ship is returning to their space. Their colonies are preparing for something big." "War," said General Faxall. He was old, with battle scars on his face. "The humans are preparing for war." Vesnin shook his head. "That cannot be. They are a young species, only 200 years in space. They cannot think they can fight the whole galactic concord." "Look at these," Kerr said, showing new pictures. "Their factories have tripled production. Their people are training. And these energy readings from their home system." She paused. "We have never seen weapons tests like these." General Faxall laughed, but it was not a happy sound. "They are still young. Their ships use our old technology we gave them." "No," Kerr said quietly. "That is what we thought. But look closer." She zoomed in on a human ship. "They have changed our designs, made them better, faster." Vesnin stopped pacing, like they did with the Vrex weapons. Everyone in the room went quiet. 50 years ago, the Vrex Collective had attacked a human colony. The humans fought back with Vrex's own weapons, but better ones. The Vrex Collective no longer existed. In a different part of the galaxy, the leaders of the Xeraxian hierarchy were also worried. Supreme Commander Vorzath watched the space maps with all four of his eyes. "The humans have shut down all trade routes through their space," his advisor reported. "They have called up their reserves. Every human of fighting age is reporting for duty." "They cannot win," Vorzath said. "We have more ships, more weapons." "We have never fought humans before," the advisor said carefully. "There are stories." Vorzath turned all his eyes to the advisor. "What stories?" "When humans fought the pirates in the Cygnus Arm, they did not just defeat them. They hunted down every single pirate base. They left nothing. The fighting lasted only 6 days. Across the galaxy, older species started to remember things they had forgotten. How humans fought their early space wars. Quick, smart, with no mercy. How they dealt with threats, completely. The strange human saying that had become famous: "Humanity does not lose twice." On the edge of human space, a small Meridian science ship picked up strange readings. The captain, curious, moved closer to investigate. A human patrol ship appeared beside them, almost like magic. "Meridian vessel," came the call. "You are approaching a restricted zone. Turn back now." "We are a science ship," the Meridian captain replied. "We mean no harm." There was a pause. Then, "You have friends among humans, Meridian. We remember who stood with us at the talks. But now is not a good time to visit. Go home. Stay safe." The Meridian ship turned around. In her office on Earth, President Alicia Rice looked at the latest reports. Human fleets were in position. The new weapons were ready. The Allies had been warned. "They think we walked away because we are weak," she said to her advisors. "They will learn." Her military chief nodded. "The Xeraxians are already moving ships to our border. They think they can scare us." Alicia looked out at the night sky. "Let them come. We offered peace. They chose otherwise." Across human space, people prepared. Not with fear, but with calm purpose. If war came, they would be ready. And the galaxy started to worry. Commander Ryan Blackwood moved quietly through the small ship's control room. The Shadowhawk was the best stealth ship humans had built. Right now, it was hiding in the Ceti Nebula, a cloud of gas and dust that no one cared about. Or so everyone thought. "Status report," Ryan said to his crew. Mary Adias looked up from her screen. As the ship's science officer, she watched for anything unusual. "Sir, I'm picking up multiple ships entering the nebula. They're trying to hide their energy signs, but I can see them." Ryan looked at the screen. 15 large ships were moving into the gas cloud. They were Zyraxian vessels. "Can they see us?" he asked. "No, sir," said the tech officer, Greg Palmer. "Our new cloaking system is working perfectly. We're invisible to them." Ryan frowned. "What are Zyraxian ships doing here?" "We're close to New Montana colony, but there's nothing else in this sector." Maria worked on her computer for a few minutes. "Sir, I've analyzed their movement pattern and ship types. This isn't a normal patrol." She looked up, her face serious. "It's an attack force. They have troop carriers and bombers." The control room went quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. The Zyraxians were planning to attack New Montana, a human colony with 50,000 people. "How long until they're ready to move on the colony?" Ryan asked. "Based on their current position and speed, about 6 hours," Maria answered. Ryan thought for a moment. His orders were clear: gather information only. Do not engage. Do not start a war. But he also had another duty: protect human lives. "Look at that big ship in the middle," he said, pointing to the screen. "That's their fuel tanker. Zyraxian ships burn through fuel fast. They need that tanker to reach New Montana." He made his decision. Weapons hot. Target their fuel tanker. Greg turned in surprise. "Sir, those are not our orders. That would be an act of war." Ryan shook his head. "No, Lieutenant. That's preventing one." A Shadowhawk moved silently through the nebula. The Zyraxians never saw them coming. 6 precise shots from the human ship's new laser weapons hit the fuel tanker, not to destroy it, just to damage it in the right places. Alarms started going off on the Zyraxian ships. Without their fuel supply, they couldn't attack the colony. They couldn't even get home without help. "Send a message to Fleet Command," Ryan ordered. "Zyraxian attack force neutralized. New Montana is safe. No shots fired at enemy ships, only strategic disabling of support vessel. 0 casualties." As the Shadowhawk slipped away, still unseen, the Zyraxian commander was calling for help, trying to explain how his fuel ship had mysteriously started leaking in 3 different places. 4 days later, President Alicia Reyes stood before the United Nations Space Command on Earth. The room was filled with leaders from all human colonies. "The Zyraxians will claim it was an accident, that their ships were just on a training mission," she said. "But we know the truth. They plan to attack our people while pretending to consider peace." She showed pictures of the disabled Zyraxian fleet. "Thanks to quick thinking by one of our commanders, the attack never happened. Not one human life was lost. Not one Zyraxian life was taken." The room was quiet, taking in what this meant. "Make no mistake," Alicia continued. "We did not choose this conflict, but we will end it. The galaxy thinks humans want peace because we fear war." She paused. "They are wrong. We want peace because we excel at war, and we understand its cost." As her words traveled across human space, people nodded in agreement. They had tried peace. Now they would show the galaxy why starting a war with humans was a terrible mistake. And they would do it without firing a single shot in anger. While human ships secured their borders, Secretary General Ben Taylor worked quietly behind the scenes. The tall, gray-haired man had spent 40 years as a diplomat. He knew how alien minds worked. The Galactic Concord's main meeting hall was in chaos. Representatives from 30 different species all talked at once. Some were angry. Some were scared. All of them were confused by what humans had done. Ben walked into the room, and slowly the noise died down. All eyes, some with more than 2, turned to him. "The human returns," said Gratok, the chief mediator. "Have you come to apologize for walking away from the peace talks?" Ben placed his simple black case on the table. "No, I've come to explain why we left." "There is nothing to explain," said a Zyraxian delegate, his blue skin dark with anger. "Humans showed disrespect to the Concord. Humans refused to follow proper procedures." Ben nodded calmly. "Let's talk about proper procedures." He opened his case and took out a small device. When he turned it on, Images filled the air above the table. "This is a Xeraxian ship entering human space without permission," Ben said. "This happened 17 times in the last year." He showed more images. "These are Drillari mining operations on an asteroid that belongs to us." More pictures. "This is a Tellarite spy ship near Earth." The room was very quiet now. "You all think our withdrawal was a sudden emotional decision," Ben said. It wasn't. It was the result of 17 diplomatic insults, 23 territory violations, and countless attempts to steal our technology. The Meridian representative, a small female with silver skin, spoke up. "We did not do these things." "No, you didn't," Ben agreed. "The Meridians, the Vox Collective, and a few others have treated humans fairly. We remember our friends." He looked around the room. "Humanity doesn't want galactic war, but we will not accept galactic bullying disguised as peace." As Ben spoke in the Concord Hall, humans across the galaxy were getting ready. On colony worlds and space stations, people packed up and moved. Military-age citizens reported for duty. Civilian experts prepared special plans that had been ready for years. In her home on New Montana Colony, Karen Lee hugged her children goodbye. "I have to go to work for a while," she told them. "Grandma will take care of you." Her oldest child, a boy of 10, looked worried. "Is it because of the aliens, Mom?" Karen nodded. She would not lie to her son. "Yes, but don't worry. I'm not going to fight. I'm a communications expert. I'll be helping our ships talk to each other." On the colony world of New Arizona, farmers loaded their grain into big ships. "Take it all to Earth," the government had ordered. "We need to stock up food where it's safest." The human approach to possible war wasn't just about fighting. It was about moving people to safety, securing food and medicine, and making sure everyone worked together. Back at the Concord meeting, Ben was finishing his speech. "We will defend what is ours. We will protect our people, and we will remember who stood with us and who stood against us." One by one, the representatives left the room. Many looked worried. Some looked thoughtful. Gratok approached Ben as he packed up his case. "You speak of war, yet you take no aggressive action." Ben smiled slightly. "That's because we don't want war, Gratok. We never did. We just want respect. And if you don't get it..." Ben closed his case with a soft click. "Then the galaxy will learn why smart enemies make peace with humans." He walked to the door, then turned back. "And why wise ones never provoke us at all." Dr. Kelly Ross wiped sweat from her forehead. For 6 days straight, she had worked in her lab deep under the red mountains of Mars. She was tired, but she couldn't stop now. "Play that recording again," she said to her computer. On the big screen, a Xeraxian ship fired its weapons during a battle with pirates. Kelly watched carefully, counting under her breath. "There," she said, pointing. "Freeze the image." Her assistant, Dan Boyd, looked at the screen. "What did you see?" Kelly's eyes were bright with excitement. Their shields flicker. "Right there, for just a tiny moment." Dan looked closer. "I don't see anything." "That's because it happens too fast for human eyes," Kelly said. "But the computer can see it." She turned to her keyboard and typed quickly. Numbers and graphs appeared on another screen. "The Xeraxian shields have a pattern," she explained. "Every 13 seconds, there's a tiny window, just 3 microseconds, where their defenses are weaker." Dan whistled. "And you think we can use that?" "I know we can," Kelly said. "But we need a special kind of weapon. A targeted EMP burst that can slip through that gap and disrupt their systems." While Kelly worked on Mars, Chief Engineer Paul Watson was busy on Earth. In a huge building where ships were made, he looked at the new designs. "We've modified the entire fleet with the new targeting systems," he told the military leaders who had come to see his work. "Each ship now has EMP weapons that can hit the exact spot Dr. Ross discovered." Admiral Grant looked skeptical. "The Xeraxians have been in space for 1,000 years. Their technology is far older than ours." Paul smiled. Older doesn't mean better. They build the same ships their great-grandparents did. They'd follow traditions. Humans don't work that way. He showed them a new ship engine. We took their design and completely changed it. It's 30% faster now and uses half the fuel. This was what the alien species didn't understand about humans. The older races built on tradition and made small improvements over time. Humans like to break things down and rebuild them in new ways. Where aliens saw perfection, humans saw possibility. In another part of the Earth Defense Complex, Eric Carter sat with headphones on. For weeks, he had listened to Xeraxian communications, their ship captains talking to each other, their orders from commanders. "There's a pattern here," he told his team. "Their battle signals follow the same rules every time." His friend Judy Chen looked at his notes. "You think you can predict what they'll do in a fight?" "Better than that," Eric said. "I think we can confuse their entire fleet. If we send the right fake signals, we can make their ships go the wrong way or even shoot at each other." He showed her his computer model. "See, their battle coordination uses a predictable code. Once you know the pattern, you can manipulate it." Judy looked impressed. This information could be worth more than 1,000 warships. That evening, the Joint Chiefs of Staff met with President Reyes to hear about all these discoveries. After the scientists finished their reports, General Susan Ford spoke. "The Xeraxians still have more ships than we do," she said. "But with these advantages, we can win without a full-scale war." President Reyes nodded. "Good, because winning isn't enough. We need to change how the galaxy sees humans forever." She looked at the star map on the wall. "Our goal isn't to destroy our enemies. It's to make them understand that humans will never again be treated as lesser beings." As the meeting ended, Admiral Grant asked, "What if they attack first?" Reyes's face was calm but determined. "Then they'll learn what humans are truly capable of. And the lesson will be one the galaxy never forgets." Ambassador Nicole Rivera stood tall as she entered the meeting room. 7 alien representatives waited for her. These were not the powerful races that controlled the Galactic Concord. These were the species that the big powers ignored or pushed around. "Thank you for coming," Nicole said, "especially since meeting with humans is not popular right now." The Tellarite representative clicked his claws nervously. His people looked like tall, thin bears with hard shells. "The Xeraxians told us not to talk to humans. They said there would be consequences." Nicole nodded. "I'm sure they did. Bullies don't like it when the small kids talk to each other." That made several of the aliens laugh. The tension in the room eased a little. "Humans remember what it's like to be dismissed," Nicole continued. "We remember being called the young species, being told to wait our turn, being kept out of important decisions." She walked around the table, looking at each alien. The Galactic Concord was created to keep power with those who already had it. We propose something different, an alliance of equals. The Meridian delegate, with her silver skin that seemed to glow, spoke up. "What could we offer that would help humans? Our fleet is tiny." "But your medical science is the best in the galaxy," Nicole replied. "The Tellarites have the finest mining operations. The Vox Collective can send messages faster than any other race." She sat down. "Alone, each of our species is forced to accept scraps from the galactic table. Together, we can change the balance of power." For 3 hours, they talked. Nicole showed them evidence of how the big powers had cheated them all for centuries. She offered fair trade deals, technology sharing, and mutual defense. By the end, all 7 representatives had signed the new alliance treaty. As they left, the Vox representative, who looked like a blue cloud in a clear container, floated up to Nicole. "The big powers will not like this," it said in its strange, musical voice. "No," Nicole agreed. "They won't, but they'll have to accept it." That same day, word of the new alliance reached the Xeraxian hierarchy. Supreme Commander Vorzath slammed all 4 of his hands on the table. "Humans are turning our own allies against us," he roared. His advisor showed him the treaty details. They promised to share technology, open trade routes, and protect each other. Vorzath's blue skin darkened with rage. The humans must be stopped before this spreads. Prepare the fleet for a full attack. Admiral Kraziel, the fleet commander, looked worried. Supreme Commander, are you sure? Our intelligence reports say the humans have made improvements to their ships. They are still humans, Vorzath said. We have ruled space for 1,000 years. They have barely left their planet. Kraziel bowed and left to prepare the fleet. But as he walked away, he felt uneasy. Something about this didn't feel right. On Earth, President Reyes got the news about the Xeraxian fleet movements. They're gathering their ships, Admiral Grant told her. Intelligence suggests they plan to attack our colony on New Montana first, then push toward Earth. Reyes didn't look surprised. How long until they're ready? 3 days, maybe 4. And our new allies. The Meridians have already sent medical ships to our colonies. The Vox Collective is linking our communication network with theirs. The others are moving to help as they can. Reyes nodded. Send a message to all human ships and colonies. Stay calm. Follow the plan. This is what we expected. As the message spread across human space, people didn't panic. Instead, they moved with purpose, following plans they had practiced many times. Supreme Commander Vorzath watched the human reactions with confusion. Why aren't they afraid? He asked his advisors. Why aren't they begging for peace? No one had an answer. It was almost as if the humans had wanted this to happen. The biggest fleet in human history waited at the edge of human space. 500 warships formed a line, their weapons ready but not powered up yet. Behind them, the ships of their new allies waited in careful positions. Admiral Jason Garcia stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Defiance. He was a calm man who rarely showed emotion. But today, even he felt the weight of what was about to happen. Status report, he said to his crew. All ships in position, replied his second-in-command, Captain Linda Hayes. The Meridian Medical Fleet is standing by. The Vox communication network is fully linked with ours. And the special equipment. Linda nodded. Dr. Ross's shield breaker system is installed on every ship. Eric Carter's communication disruptors are ready. All captains have their sealed orders for any situation. Jason looked at the big screen that showed empty space in front of them. Now we wait. They didn't wait long. Less than an hour later, space seemed to bend and twist. The Xeraxian fleet was arriving, just as human intelligence had predicted. Ship after ship appeared until nearly 800 alien vessels faced the human fleet. They outnumber us, Linda said quietly. Numbers aren't everything, Jason replied. He waited until the last Xeraxian ship had arrived. Then he gave a simple order. Open communications. The face of Fleet Lord Kraziel appeared on the main screen. The alien commander looked surprised to see humans waiting for him. This is Admiral Jason Garcia of the United Earth Fleet, Jason said calmly. You are entering protected space without permission. Kraziel's 4 eyes blinked in different patterns, a sign of anger in Xeraxians. The hierarchy has decided that humans are a threat to galactic peace. Surrender now, and some of your colonies may be allowed to continue. Jason didn't change his expression. This is your final warning, he stated. You are outnumbered, outgunned, and we have neutralized your technological advantages. He paused, letting the words sink in. Additionally, we've sent evidence of your planned first strike to every member of the Galactic Concord. Even your allies are backing away from you. Kraziel looked confused, then angry. You lie. We have more ships than you. Ships aren't everything, Jason said. Look at your tactical display. Look who stands with humanity now. As if on cue, more ships appeared behind the human fleet. The 7 allied species had sent every vessel they could spare. Jason continued. Humanity doesn't want to demonstrate our full military capability today. Return to your territory and accept the new reality. Peace with humanity comes through respect, not dominance. For 73 long minutes, no one moved. The Xerexian fleet held its position. Human crews waited at their stations, ready for anything. Finally, one Xerexian ship turned around and disappeared into hyperspace. Then another, and another. On the communication screen, Fleet Lord Kraziel looked defeated. "This is not over, human." "You're right," Jason replied. "It's just beginning. But what happens next is your choice. War or respect. Choose wisely." The screen went dark as the last Xerexian ships retreated. Back on Earth, President Reyes addressed the people of Earth and all human colonies. "Today marks a new chapter in galactic politics. Not through the horror of war, but through the absolute readiness for it. We have changed our stars." She looked directly into the camera. Humanity walked away from false peace to build a lasting one. Not as beggars, but as equals. Across the galaxy, news spread quickly. Humans had faced down the mighty Xerexian fleet without firing a shot. The new alliance of minor species was growing stronger each day. In the grand meeting hall of the Galactic Concord, Secretary General Ben Taylor requested the floor. When he spoke, his words were simple but powerful. "Humanity extends its hand in peace to all who wish it. But let today serve as a reminder. We will not bow. We will not bend. And we will never again accept being treated as less." The old powers of the galaxy began to understand. Humans hadn't walked away from peace. They had walked away from submission. And in doing so, they had changed the galaxy forever.